you can't go into that shit not getting hurt. All right. What up, man? Welcome. I'm already shit talking before we get started. Um, so the topic, well, I'll say topic. The title is "Are We Too Hard on Single Mothers?" And I might have fucked that up on the typing. I didn't pay attention. And that was not going to be today's topic at all. But it was brought to me by a friend that said I'm too difficult on single mothers particularly, right? And I'm not. And I think I made a post, and I think people take the shit personally because it applies to them. But I made a post and said, I said something like along the lines of, I'm tired of seeing people complain about the people that they procreate with, like you, and you're still living the exact same lifestyle and still dealing with the same type of people. I never said men or women. I was actually just putting it out there as a either or. But some people read shit and they see shit that applies to them because they feel guilty about some shit, right? And
Right.
and so that sparked some conversations, and we're having discussions. And one of the things said to me was, well, you don't know what it would be like if you were in that situation, if you were a woman. I don't know, all right? I can't pretend to know anything about a woman. But I do understand about decisions, right? And mistakes. And not saying that, well, I didn't have control of it. I'm okay if you make multiple mistakes. Own up to the shit, right? Don't put it off on, well, you don't know what you would do in this situation, right? And this particular person, right, has had multiple kids by multiple people. One of them, multiple times they tried before they got it right, even though one of the parties was like, I ain't trying to do it, right? So for me, it's a difference between, and again, you know me, you don't necessarily agree with me. I give anybody a one baby daddy, one baby mama pass.
Right.
I think everybody's entitled to that because
You think they're entitled to it?
I mean, entitled to, you're entitled to try, and if it don't get right, I mean, you tried, right? Like you did your best, I hope, in your first shot.
But okay, I could. If you try, I understand that. But I'm saying if you apply that to
I'm not talking nightclub baby, right? Like you met a motherfucker
no,
at the bar,
but
and then now you having his kid or her
right,
kid
but
or whatever the fuck you want to say.
I'm just saying that most, if we being honest with each other as far as our culture, that's not typically the case. It's not typically I gave it a good shot with a person that showed me enough for me to buy into who they said they were, and it just didn't work out. That's typically not the situation. It's usually we usually making out of lust, and and unhealed trauma, and or just being vindictive. It's just other things. That's what I guess that's what I'm thinking when I hear, we entitled to, you know, one. You know what I mean? Because it's like that one is always it's still a fuck up. It's still something that we could avoid in most cases.
Well, I mean, you're right, right? It's always avoidable, right? I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's not avoidable.
And I'm
And
saying
I
easily avoidable though.
right, so that was a conversation, right? That was one of the things I said. I'm like, man, and I ain't gonna put no names on it, but I'm like, I know a motherfucker that then laid with 3,000 motherfucking women and got three baby mamas, right? Like you can control that shit, right? And me and one of my homies go round and round because again he's oh man, black women, black women, black women. I'm like, bro, it's not only like again I'm from a different generation. I take responsibility. I feel like the man is the more powerful choice, and here's why. And I've said this. I'm like, bro, I've had sex thousands of times. I have two children. That's the all by design. There's no misunderstandings. That like I tried for two. First one I was trying a little earlier than I should have been trying. Right? That's just a reality of the situation. We had a kid when I was 18. We had the second kid when I was 25. Right? We didn't stop fucking. We was just like, hey, we ain't financially where we need to be until we get there, right? No more kids. And that's like to me, I control where my seed goes.
Yeah.
You don't have to, me and my guy go round and round. He's like, oh, she shouldn't lay down. If a woman lay down, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, you don't have to bust in a chick. That's not required. You can have sex without hitting it raw, right? And it's always all the different things a woman can do to protect herself, and those are true things that are there. But like, bro, you are responsible for your seed. So I don't know, bro. I'm torn on this whole shit. I'm like, I just don't think nobody really give a shit about family no more. Not
No,
in our community, bro. It's everybody's like talking about, well, marriage is stupid. I don't want to get married. I don't hear the same people saying they don't want to have kids, and that's crazy to me.
um, I guess let me ask you this. So when you say that you put the bulk of the responsibility on men, then I guess where would you say women's responsibility is, since you've been accused, I guess, of going too hard. The question is, do we go too hard
Right.
on the women? So where is their
So
responsibility?
the response, obviously, you choose who you have sex with, 100%, right? So I don't take that away from them. I don't, I don't pretend that they're not responsible for that. I'm
Okay.
just of the mindset, and I know enough men. I know enough men that can walk out of the house today, right, right now, and find a chick that had no intentions on laying down with that man, and smooth talk her ass into laying down with. I know what it's like, right? I grew up around these cats, right? I understand that if you have certain traits as a man, women are naturally inclined to trust your decision making skills. That's that submission we talk about, right? That a lot of men say they don't get is women don't see them as a safe man, right? So I know that if you good with words and you have those traits, a lot of women gonna give it up, right? Um, but it's still on a man where he places seed. That's for me. That's where my decision is. Like, you're the man. You carry the financial risk. She carries the health risk. So common sense to me, if I'm a woman, like, listen, I'm gonna be smart with who I lay down with and put my womb in front of them. But I'm also looking like, as men, we're supposed to be leaders. We're supposed to be the decision makers. We say we're stronger. We're equal from a human rights perspective, right? But we say men are leaders, men are stronger, men are more logical. The logic says, why the fuck are you doing that, bro? Especially if you know she's not good baby mama material or good wife material.
I mean, I think for me, I think that I can say I can roll with the idea that it starts with men. But I don't know that there is an equal responsibility when it comes to consenting adults uh, having intercourse, right?
A
With
sexual encounter is 100%. It better be 100% consensual,
yeah,
right? That
in obviously in the with all due respect to the situations that are
right,
not
right.
right,
But them are excluded from the
right.
conversation.
But I'm saying that I guess in the sense of where it starts with, then yeah, I would say yeah, men are should be more accountable, and men are supposed to be the leaders. But when we talk about human rights, I don't know that we have equal human rights when we talk about the procreation,
No, I
because
don't mean that. So let me step back. When I say equal rights, I mean if a man and a woman apply for a job and there's no physical requirements that says she's incapable, she's smart enough to do it, but she don't get the job because she don't got a penis. That's what I'm talking about. Or vice versa, a man not getting a job because he has a penis, right? Um, that's what I mean by that. A woman control has way more say about whether or not a child is born. A man only has the input of whether or not a child can be conceived, right?
so you don't think that women are the gatekeepers of sex?
A woman can't listen. A woman can't have my child. I have 100%, and I'm gonna think you the same way. Every woman that had your child, you allowed to have your child. You can't make her have your child. Meaning, if she gets pregnant and she don't want to deliver and carry, that's outside of your scope. But no woman can just be like, okay, we're gonna have sex and I'm gonna have his baby. Y'all can have sex, but if you don't deposit that seed, she ain't got no options.
Okay.
So I look at it as I'm not a. I think the gatekeeper sex thing to me, when I hear that, is dudes who can't get no action. Right? Again, I was raised around dudes who refuse more action than most dudes get. So I look at that shit a little weird. So I try to take me out of the picture, right? Because I know, like I said, it's cats I grew up with. When they leave the house, it's like, man, I'm not fucking today. Right? That's what they telling they say. I ain't smashing nobody. I'm just going out to kick it. But then there's dudes who, for 18 months in a row, go out every night trying to look for something and can't get it. So the gatekeeper of sex, it depends on who you are, right? It depends on the type of person you are. If you are a man that most women are attracted to or want to have sex, that you're the gatekeeper of that sex, right? We could, whether we're talking about the top 2%, 10%, 15%, whatever it is. But I'll give, for the purpose of the conversation, I'll say women are the gatekeepers of life. Men are the gatekeepers of pregnancy. And what I mean by that is a woman, you can have sex with 1,000 women. Again, there's other shit that can happen, right? But you have sex with 1,000 women. If you don't bust raw or bust period in that chick, the chance is slim to none, right? You control it.
Yeah. I definitely agree that it starts with men for sure. So I guess the question again is, okay, how are we going too hard on the
But
on
that was
mothers?
what somebody said to me. I think it's emotion, right? Emotion, because I don't make it okay. I don't, I'm not gonna sit here and what I mean by not okay is I'm not gonna encourage anybody to do it. When I hear somebody say, "Well, it's not a problem," like, are you encouraging people to do it? If you are not encouraging people to do it, you don't feel like that's a good thing to do, right? I'm not encouraging women to go out here and again, this is me putting it on women to have babies by a bunch of people, or by anybody for that matter that doesn't want to put some kind of commitment on the table.
Right.
Right. And bro, it's so crazy because I was with some people a couple weeks ago, some different people of different hue, right? And they were telling me that their daughter's engaged and about to get married and all this other shit. And they were like, man, it took a long time. It took too long. It was more than 3 years, right? But she was like, I'm not having babies because we're not married. And I'm like, I understand that, bro. I respect that. But when I look at the chicks that's telling me I'm going too hard on single moms, they've never once, or most of them have never been in a position to be married. Most of them have never been in a position where dude wanted anything long term, right? And so the chick was telling me, well, you act like these people ain't having relationships. I'm like, relationships don't equal babies. Relationships, we have relationships. That's human nature, right? Relationships are not family. And what I mean by that is you don't just start a family with somebody because y'all getting along for the last 18 months or 6 months or 3 months or whatever the fuck it is. So
Right.
I don't encourage this shit at all, right? I'm not going to belittle a motherfucker because you went through a situation. I'm not going to also pretend that situation ain't the situation, right? I see a couple chicks I know posting shit on Facebook. I need them, listen, and if I can help out, I will. That's who I am. But also understand that you in this fucking situation. Like it's hard for me, bro, to want to give to somebody who has multiple babies by multiple people and none of those people have ever contributed. Like, how did you get to the point where after the first person didn't contribute and the second person didn't contribute, you had a third or fourth person that don't contribute? Like, at some point, common sense has got to ring in, right? So that's where my blame or my pressure on the female comes in. You cannot consistently do the same shit and expect different results. You're picking the same type of dude every time, right? You're picking the same dude with a different name every motherfucking time, and that for me, I can't rock with. Let me make sure I ain't missing no comments on Facebook because this shit be bullshitting. But nah, and going back to the male side of the shit, right? Is so I go around with my guy because he like these women need to make better decisions, and I'm with that. I'm with that 100%. But my problem is you want, like he's like, women need to choose men that's going to be better fathers, providers, this, that, and the other. Okay, cool. I'm with you. But she's not attracted to that type of dude. Whoever that dude is, that these so-called good dudes. If she's not attracted to him, understand that she's using that man for his resource. You can't complain about a motherfucker using somebody for resources if you're telling her to go after the cat she don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I struggle. Let me switch this up to this other profile real quick. Give me a second. But that's where I struggle, fam, is when dudes are like, you gotta have, at some point, we get mad at women for female nature, and we get mad at them for going after the stereotypical type of dude, right, that we say are bad dudes. And then we turn around and goddamn it, get mad at them for taking a dude for his money when they say they need to choose somebody who can better provide for a family. Like, but if she's not into the dude, what the fuck you want her to do? So I'm on both ends of that, bro.
Okay, I personally don't think that we go hard enough on the single mothers, quote unquote single mothers, right? Because we have these we have plenty of examples of young women making having proper pussy management skills, right?
Okay, I can roll with that.
You know what I'm saying? We have enough examples of that, and but somehow we cannot, we have aborted the idea that we should value, women should value virtue and chastity. And so we start to normalize behaviors that we know, we have generations of data that shows that, hey, this is the most important decision of your life. It could derail your life
Hundred
in so many
percent.
different ways. It has derailed so many. And I'm saying, like, so why is it always one way or another comes back to the men when it, when we really be having the biggest issue I see with men is the ones that put babies in women who already have children. And like, it'll be like, why would you, as a man, go put a baby in someone who has, multiple children with multiple men already?
Listen,
You know?
I'm with you on that one, and that was my thing, right? So when me and my guy, because again, he'd be like, "Bro, it's the black women, it's the black women, it's the woman in general, blah blah blah." I'm like, listen, there's always somebody there to save her, and there's always somebody there to insert baby number two, baby number three. Again, I go back to the man. If there were no men, and I'm not knocking anybody in the situations, I'd give you one, right? But this is the reality. If there were no men there to clean up, right? You ain't gonna keep making the mess. And these dudes, and it's the craziest part is I'm looking at dudes, I'm like, bro, you knew that this chick would had a baby that by somebody who wasn't participating. And you slid in anyway.
Yeah.
Because you was thinking with your dick, not your brain. Right? And now you're in this situation complaining about the situation. Like you picked that shit. So I'm definitely, I feel like there's more responsibility on the man. Just because common sense tells me if we're supposed to be leaders, we gotta lead. If every, and this is American society. I don't care what nationality or race you look at here in the U.S. If you compare men to women, the man is above in most categories. Pretty much damn near every measurable category. So I expect the women to be behind. They're supposed to, because again, men control. That's just the country, the society we live in. Men control shit.
Yeah, yeah. We control the narrative. I guess I'm just saying that why do women get to play victims in this in this scenario when I'm saying the data, I can agree that, okay, it starts with men, right? Men are primarily responsible for the broken home syndrome that we deal with across generations. But after that, immediately after that, we have to look at the data that shows us the difference that is clear. It's a clear difference between when you have proper pussy management skills
100%.
versus the latter. Like,
100%.
I mean, this is you cannot. Yeah, nothing's 100%, right? But I'm saying that
Right. No, I mean, I'm with
it's
you.
a simple criteria. Even it's simple. If you have, it's plenty of women who said, "Hey, I'm just not having no children until I'm married."
Yep.
I'm willing to bet that if we looked at the broken homes across the country, and we divided them into two, in the percentage, we weighed them in the percentage of those that started with marriage and ended in divorce versus those that started
So a whole
without
different
marriage.
percentage. Whole
Right.
different percentage.
So I'm saying that, but we just deflect from that. It's easy, yeah, because just because men are at the forefront of it, it's easy to deflect and say, "Hey, it's a man fucked up here, and it's his fault." I mean, yeah, ultimately it's gonna always come down to, a man in this world because of our because we control the narrative in a sense, right? But I think we got way bigger things at play when we talk, because there are good men who tried to mate with women who just were not, they were just not, they were not going to be successful in relationships, that therefore they shouldn't even had children.
So, and I'm with you. So let's talk about that, right? Because that was a conversation I was having with one of my homies, right? And I'm like, bro, you're missing the part of where you're supposed to look. And I'm talking about these decent dudes that pick the worst chicks to have kids with. You're supposed to look at that chick for more than just the physical, and try to decide if this is a good person to be with. And there's factors you have to look at. Everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. There's certain things that for me is unacceptable. that other people don't give a fuck. I'm not fucking with a chick with a tattoo on her neck. I can't take you where I need you to go. You're going to fuck up my money. Somebody going to judge me based on your tattoo on your neck, and it's going to cost me money, and I'm not starting a relationship like that, right? If I'm with you already and we got years in, shit's different. But if I had to start clean, right, there's a whole lot of shit that I have to judge you on because you are a representation of me when we out and about, right? If you out here asshole naked on the internet damn near do all stuff, that's not for me, right? But when I look at some of my guys' baby mamas, I'm like, bro, I don't know other people, right? Like, what did you think was going to happen? She was going to have a baby and be different, right? These chicks that have these fucked up ass baby daddies, most of these chicks are not worth touching in the first fucking place. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, bro. It's just, I don't know. It's weird to me. I definitely don't get me wrong. I'm put the blame on the women because they're laying down with these different men. And you cannot continue to run into a brick wall multiple times and expect everybody to not understand that you are at fault for this brick wall that you keep running your fucking head into. So I'm not, I'm still gonna say, I don't think I'm too hard on single moms. I think society is too hard on multiple. I don't know the correct phrase on it. When people have kids by multiple people, I think society's too relaxed on that. It's too relaxed to the point where it's like it's a crazy deal. Like again, I'm not in the game, bro. I couldn't imagine liking a chick and finding out if I want to be with her, I gotta handle her kids. And I'm assuming there's chicks like, damn, I wouldn't like to run across a dude, figure out I like him, and then he got baby mamas got to deal with. Like that's serious shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I'm a move around type of dude, right? I want to pop up and go out of town on a whim, right? Last weekend I decided on Friday morning that we going out of town, goddamn it, over Friday afternoon. I can't do that if I got to depend on somebody else, right? To babysit their kids. And don't get me wrong, I got my own kids, so when I wanted to do something, we had to get a sitter back in the day. But I'm not. I just, for me, I need my own children, and I need to be able to not deal with somebody. Like imagine this is my thought process, right? I can't imagine being at my house and another man comes to my house who used to knock down my girl and is welcome to come in because his kids is here. I mean, respectfully, I can't say no, but it's my shit.
Look, I lived that life, and you 100% right. It's something that, I don't live in regret, but in hindsight, absolutely not.
Man, it's a tough move. Like, what do you say?
No, is exactly what you just said. Like you really can't. How can you tell?
You can't say shit.
You can't say nothing. And that's why I had to go through it to actually realize where I stood on it, right? And I'm like, even when it comes to like, let's say after you've been around for a while and there are occasions where whether it's graduations, birthdays or whatever, where it's just expected or it's normalized rather that both sides of the family units just come together for the sake of the child, right? But me as a man, honestly, I got to a point. I'm at the point now where it's like, nah, that's not me. And the reason why is because I don't even want to be in the same room as another nigga that experienced my shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because the feeling's still there, bro. Like, yeah. I mean, not like in love, but the memory didn't go away.
The reality is the reality, right? Like I'm saying, even from an egotistical standpoint, this man, as a man, he's in he in the room, he got his new woman. You know what I'm saying? So he in the room. I didn't experience. I got my woman, and I didn't experience your woman. You can't say that about
right.
me. You know
this is a one-way street.
It's a one-way, and I'm saying I'm on the other side of it, of course, but I'm saying that's just the reality. I'm a person that I know a lot of men be like, man, you got these characters that's like, hey, I don't care what their past was like, it's my turn now. I'm not like that. You know what I mean? I just
I want to turn that bad.
It's just it ain't about I agree with you 100%. I'm not feeling it. So in hindsight,
don't get me wrong. I understand that everybody has a path, right? And depending on where you live, you may run across somebody who's been with your woman. But to have him come to the crib, right, or to have to ride with her to his house while she goes in, like for me, bro, and it's not even a sexual thing. It's just like because if I'm in that situation, bro, I'm looking at you like less than a man. Like if I'm on
Yeah.
the other end of that shit, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, bro. Like she with you because I chose not to be with her. That's how
Yeah.
I would look at that shit.
Yeah. 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 So it's definitely nuances to it, right? But at the end of the day, and I've said this directly to my partner, and this is where I stand on it. Once you have a child with someone, really, even sex to a certain extent, but definitely 100% when you have a child with somebody, then that's a marriage,
You
right?
locked in for
So,
life.
so at the end of the day, a lot of us are sharing, we sharing wives. You know what I mean? Yeah, I might live with her, but
Right, but you got her. You got
it's
access.
whoever she got a kid with that's a marriage. You know what I mean? You can't. It's irrefutable, undebatable, undeniable,
So
and you can't change it.
that's what goes when a girl hit me like, oh well, look, this shit is fucked up. I'm like, bro, most motherfuckers today live in that lifestyle of two husbands, or two men in their life. That's the reality. When you have a baby with, and then let's go ahead and add a secondary and a, and a tertiary motherfucker to the mix. Now you got four people in this relationship. Because guess what happens, bro? You can do everything right, right? And if little man get hurt, she not calling you first, and she ain't supposed to call you first.
Right.
But no, you're right. Like you can do everything under the sun, and you can be 100% of a provider. He gets hurt, and I'm talking serious hurt. You're not the first phone call, nor should you be, right? And I don't know, man. Like that shit's wild to me. And I'm gonna keep it all the way real. This, like, I was thinking, I'm like, bro, my kid can't call nobody else daddy. Like that's unacceptable to me.
Nah, hell no.
Like I couldn't that would, bro. But I know people like, oh yeah, they call both. He called him daddy too. Nah,
No.
fam. Now you damn near better call me by my name. Shit, bro. I don't know which one is
No.
worse,
No,
right?
I'm not with it. I'm not with that.
So that's again, when I say I'm more harsh on a man, I expect, and maybe I'm wrong, I expect a woman to be more comfortable in that situation, right? I expect a woman to be more accepting of he has a woman, he has a child by another woman, or she has, he's got another woman and this is the baby mama, and she's like, I just got to deal with it. I kind of expect that, and maybe I'm wrong for that, but I expect that to be more. That looks more acceptable to me. Now, and maybe that's sexist. Maybe because I'm a man, that shit is more acceptable. I don't know, bro. It's
Wait, explain that again. Say that again.
I think as a man who has a kid by another chick, I think if a woman comes in his life, it's more understandable, right? Like she's gonna share that motherly role. He has another kid. He's going to do what he needs to do for that kid,
It's very different. It's very different. Yes.
right?
It's
I feel
very
like,
different.
and I know that's probably wrong, right?
No, it's not, because the reason why it's very different, because even in this society, 9 times out of 10 in this society, the mother still maintains the majority of physical custody, right? So that other woman that you got, she don't necessarily have to look at your kid every day. You
Not
know
every
what I'm
night for
saying?
sure, right?
Like, you know what I mean? And women are naturally nurturing anyway, and she understands that kid, most of the time, women see it's different. Women, when they recognize everything that's valuable to you, this kid means something to him. This is an opportunity for me to even,
Right.
obtain my position with him. You know what I mean? Because
That's dope that you said that, bro. Because I didn't think about that, but you were 100% on point.
men, we don't think like that. You know how I think? Like, man,
Not at all.
I gotta look at. Basically, I gotta look at your ex every day in his son. You know what I'm saying? I gotta
Man,
look
he
at this
busted
nigga
and
every
didn't.
day.
Right, I gotta look at his skeet run
You
around
know
his
what
mud.
I'm
Then I
saying?
gotta feed
Yeah.
him and
You know what I'm
clothe
saying?
him.
Or
Yeah.
on the flip side, and people don't want to have this conversation because it might make people comfortable, and we try to skate past it and say how you're not supposed to think and how you're not supposed to feel. But the reality is, if it's on the flip side, if it's a daughter, then that's not your blood daughter. So she's gonna grow up and be a woman one day.
Bro.
That's a conflict of interest.
I'm with you. So that's a whole nother thing that I don't think people really think about is stepchildren, right? And I have these conversations with women online. I'm like, do you realize you got a grown man who don't know that teenage girl that you have in your house, right? Who's developing into a woman, And listen, let me clarify. I don't mean nobody doing nothing to a kid. I'm saying
No,
this young
no.
lady, this young woman or young girl is growing into a woman. When she becomes an adult, he looking at her different, right? It's a possibility. It ain't worth the risk,
Yeah, it's only the only time that it's less likely to happen is if he watched her grow up from a
right?
baby.
That's different, right?
You know
He
what I'm
met her as
saying?
a little kid, but if you meet a chick and her kid 15, 16, like you, bro, as a woman, I wouldn't bring no dude around my 15, 16-year-old daughter. Her hormones just starting. She's gonna grow. She's gonna start. If he's doing his job, I don't know if she's gonna look at him as a daddy or not. But when she turned 18, 19, 20, he's still in her life, right?
It just creates a
It's
dilemma that we're not supposed to even have if we would do this shit right. You know what I mean? We'd
and
rather have
that's
a discussion about how because it just takes a quality. If she picked the right man, then it won't be an issue, right? But if you pick the right man initially, then
it wouldn't be an issue.
it wouldn't be an issue, right? You know what I mean? Like that's all it is. And I just don't think we once again, I always say we don't have the conversations the right way because we talk about it in a way that's it's post normalization of us just accepting that we fucking up when we picking people to mate with, and
Our standards are too fucking low for everything,
it's
bro.
not
Like
that hard. It's just the shit is not that hard.
it's really not. I think, and this is just my personal view. I don't think we give a fuck about family,
We
right? Like
don't.
to
We
have a
don't.
kid with somebody you barely know, to me seems out fucking rageous. Because listen, we know how babies are made, right? People have sex every day. There are people who had sex with hundreds of women, thousands of women, don't have 1,000 babies, right? You can avoid. I understand people like, oh, she had a baby by three NBA players. I'm not mad at her. She was gonna spit out a bunch of babies. At least do it by some rich motherfucker.
The NBA players is the fools if you
A
ask
hundred
me.
percent.
You know what
Right.
I'm
You are a
saying?
target, bro. Right. Like
But
so I understand if you like. To me, it's fucked up that you use a kid as a come up. Let me clarify. But if you gonna have a bunch of babies by a motherfucker that you ain't with, make it financially lucrative.
But see, that's the part where once again I'm blaming men 100% on that, and you know why? Because it's even though the narrative says different, in reality, most of the time these athletes and entertainers they don't have any intention on being with this woman.
Not at all.
You know what I mean? So if they had intention on building a family, 9 times out of 10, she only gonna be with them because I mean she good. It just make it's because either way she's good, right? But and even if you pick a woman who is gonna try to play with you, after you know is trying to rope you in with a baby, that's still your fault. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, you
Like
know, bro. You
I don't understand why. Like me personally, if I'm already, if I'm already high profile, quote unquote rich and famous, I don't even think it's in my best, unless I'm just dead set on building a legacy. I don't even think it's in my best interest to even have children, mate with a woman, because you're never going to be able to uh, buy into the idea that she's really with you for you. You know what I mean? If you
right.
didn't,
You
so
have to meet her when you had nothing and no potential, or maybe just potential, or you have to fuck with her when you out of the game. And here's why. When it comes to the rich cat, NBA, NFL, MLB, like you can't marry somebody and travel nonstop, bro.
right,
Because that's what
right,
that's what your life is. You travel
yeah.
nonstop, and then think about where you met her. You met a most likely poor chick around a bunch of rich people. That's a setup all day long, right? Most average dudes are not in the room with millionaires or billionaires, right? If you put yourself in a situation with a bunch of rich people consistently, you you're probably trying to get one, right? And so I think it's I don't know. I think it's crazy, bro. Like them cats, that's a whole different category, a whole different conversation. But I'm looking at like you knew better, right? You and most of the chicks had been laid down with other cats, and you'll say that's like sharing a chick at the job, bro. And 3 or 4 cats at the job got a baby with her. Like that shit. If you wasn't in the NBA or NFL, that shit would look. You'd be like, man, what the fuck, bro?
Bro. Okay. I guess what I'm saying is that we know that just per our nature, when we talking about sex, men are not we don't compartmentalize sex the same way as women do. And so that to me even makes it more obvious that women should be more responsible when having sex with a man because it's like he don't
It's just sex in
It's
most
just
instances.
it's just, you know what I mean? Like it's a higher life. It's easier for him to put a baby in you and go about his business than it is for you to.
You do carry the majority of the responsibility. Chances are, if he dip out,
You just
you stuck.
know what the chances are. Is what I'm saying. Like I
Right,
like
right. You
yes,
carry
I
the most
know
risk, 100%.
that I know there are plenty of women who deal with men who are just, you know, who set themselves up in a way that makes it look like they were solid when they really wasn't. Right? I know that happens.
I give a pass on that one.
But I did. That's not who I'm talking about. You know, I'm
Right,
talking
that's
about
not the majority, bro.
like you. I'm saying, I, hey man, I just know even my portfolio in that space. I always find myself thinking that this this chick is just lucky I am who I am because I could have easily. She don't know. If I was another type of a different type of nigga, she'd be in trouble. That's how easy it was. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right.
Like she did not follow proper protocol prior to
So
giving me
why do
access.
you think that she didn't do that? And I'm not talking particularly her, but just women in general. Like, why do you think? What do you think
I,
was lacking or missing? Right, that made that an option. Was she? Are they starving for that attention? Are they confusing me wanting to lay down with you with me wanting to live with you? Like, what do you think leads to that?
I think the majority of it is that poor failed parenting, that their parents one way or another didn't help them understand what their value was in terms of virtue, right? Like if a mother, I think if a mother sits with her daughter and explain to her what it means to be virtuous, right? And what she is actually deciding to do when she allows a man to access her, you know, for any time, let alone the first time, right?
Right, right.
And if then a man sits with his daughter and is honest with her about how men think about sex, right?
Right.
Like, then that to me sets her up to at least be on alert because you're going to have to be on alert.
Right.
That's just the
I
reality
know the
of it.
game. Right. I
Yeah,
know
like
somebody told me you still got the emotion side. You still got the especially when they're younger and it's the first second boyfriend type shit. Right. The all the love and all that shit. But you at least are aware in the back of your mind. Um, I just I think a lot of women feel like I can change him. Right. Men don't, like, we're different in that aspect. A man finds a woman and prays she don't change. Right. Like, this is what I want. Stay this fucking way. I think a lot of women get a dude like, he's great, but I'm gonna change him into this. And you can change diapers, you can change fucking clocks. You can't change people, bro.
you can't change people. I just think that women in a society like ours is hypersexual, right? So women mistake that as true value for men, like sex, and it's not. Sex isn't the value for men. It's virtue. You know what I mean? Like men want they value access to women that other men can't access,
Right.
or have not experienced. Because once you let a man experience you, and if I'm looking for a mate, then I have to evaluate or assess the type of man you already let us assess you, and
Right, right, right.
and the conditions that under which you allowed it to happen. And if it was very minimal, then what I don't you can't require me to put in to earn something that you didn't preserve for me. You already let, you know what I
You
mean?
got
Like,
three baby daddies and you didn't know none of them longer than 6 months.
even if you ain't got no kids, if I'm saying you let your next door neighbor who you grew up with knock you down, when your parents wasn't around, hey man, then I'm
And
a
you might get a pass on that one.
no, I'm saying it ain't about having a past. What I'm
You know what
saying
I'm
is,
saying? I mean, but you spend a lot of time with somebody, eventually feelings develop. Right? I can understand that to a certain extent. A neighbor, somebody you see on a day-to-day basis for years. I assume we're talking not adult neighbors, right? I'm talking younger, kids you grew
yeah,
up with, 17, 18 type shit.
yeah, I can
I can,
understand it. I'm saying I can understand it, but it does not change the facts. Like I don't have anything to do with that. I understand. I'm not judging you in the sense of like how could you. What I'm saying is when you get to me, a fully grown man who is accomplished and has the resources to change your life, and you're saying that you require all that from me before I access you, but not the guy. You know what I mean? He just had to be your. He was. This is. So what you're saying to me, because what that represents to me is it was a matter. It's a matter of proximity. Meaning it could have been any nigga that was just that's he just happened to live, but he just happened to be the nigga that lived by you.
I don't know. I think and I think this is true of adults of opposite sex. You don't spend a lot of time with somebody opposite sex because eventually, in most instances, some shit gonna go wrong.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is it's all proximity, right? So we know
That's
that.
reality, bro. That's
Right. So
that's
that's
anybody.
why you have to be disciplined, right? With that, you know what I mean? Like, because most of us end up with who we end up with based on where we were at and who we knew. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
somebody knew
yeah.
and just where we were at, and we don't have much to do with that outside of where we choose to go. So I'm saying just the fact that you know that, then you have to take who you choose to give yourself to, you'll give your virtue to. You have to take it more serious and be more careful because this is not God at work when you come across people. This is just nature. We are
Right,
all
right.
here. We could be at anywhere at
Anywhere at any time.
any time, right? You know what I'm saying? And we know about pheromones. Like I could be smelling in a certain way. You could be going through something, and I just happen to be the guy that crossed your path, and I made you smile. Now you can't believe that it's something very unique and profound about that interaction. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying?
It was
It's not.
simply coincidence.
But you can
Shit happened
see,
to lined up.
you
Right,
you
right.
you can see though. You can say, "Hey, I just I like that. So let me entertain this." But while I'm entertaining it, I already got to draw my boundaries. You ain't
Right,
gotta
you
have
gotta
no
vet
walls
that
up.
shit, right?
Yeah,
I'm with you. You gotta vet that shit.
right. And because sometimes it's like, you know what, like, yeah, we cool, but unless we decide as adults, like, this is what we gonna do. You can do that.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the friends with
I'm not
benefits shit.
either, but
To me that
I'm
that's
not
just
I'm not
further
either.
fucks this shit up.
I'm not either, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If you can decide that, but just be okay with the consequences that come behind that. You're gonna have to because see, women do a good job. They just lucky. This is the another luxury that women have. That most men, because of how we think about sex and we lack intention in terms of long term relationships, we don't really concern ourselves with their past much. You know what I'm saying? We
Right,
just
if you don't have
overlook
any
it.
concern about our future, you don't care about our past.
Right. You know what I mean?
I mean,
So it's
that's
like
reality.
so you women can skate by with coming off virtuous and it won't ever come because most men don't care. So that's but it matters though when it comes to mating because all those traumas are not with you. All those experiences are not with you. Most men don't gain. We don't accrue trauma through sex. We generally don't.
Okay, I can roll with that. I
Women
think
generally accrue trauma through sex because they believe that sex is what is going to sustain a relationship.
and I agree with you 100%. Right, I think most men develop feelings for a woman they're having sex with based on shit outside of sex.
Absolutely,
Right,
100%,
right.
100%.
The quality. Don't get me wrong. Nobody want no bammer. You know what I'm saying? But the
Right?
quality of sex. She don't have to be a freak. She don't have to be wild. Like you almost don't want her to be. Right? Because you know
Facts,
that's a learned behavior.
facts,
Right.
facts,
So
facts.
most men don't fall in love with the woman they fall in love with because of the sex. It's the
Man,
other shit that happens outside of that. Now, she might be doing that shit for you because of the sex, right? To keep it all the way 100,
yeah,
but that's not you. It's not the sex that gets because every woman has those parts, right? And every one of them's gonna feel different. That's reality. But there's none that feel great enough. Well, for most cats, to throw it out the window. So you're right. I don't. Men don't typically get the trauma from the sexual experiences with women. I think where men's trauma come from is the lack of sexual experiences with women. Men, I think, and this is where me and my guy go round and round. He's like, "Oh, so many good dudes." I'm like, "Bro, if you're 35 and you've never had a successful long-term relationship, shit happens. People break up. But if all your shit is 12 months or less, you're gonna have a fucked up view of the opposite sex. You're gonna have
yeah,
issues with
yeah.
trauma. That's where that trauma comes in. So
Right.
I argue with my guy. He's like, "Man, these some great dudes." I'm like, "Bro, they're not great. They've been burned by a bunch of women, bro. As soon as they
Yeah,
get one and she goes somewhere and her phone can't ring because she don't got service, they on some other shit, right?
yeah,
Or they can't get her location, bro.
yeah.
That shit is weird to me.
So for me it's a cycle, right? So it's women they have they because they believe that there's value in sex, then they accrue this their trauma through sex, and then they come into contact with, maybe potentially solid men, but and men aren't invested in sex, and the men become invested in the relationship. Then when it's exposed, when their inability to mate with the men or to sustain a healthy relationship with the men is exposed, and then the men are devastated, emotionally, because they finally decided to invest their emotions. Then that's where their trauma comes from. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And it just becomes an ongoing cycle. And that's, and like I said, I'm okay with saying we can put men at the forefront of it, but there
And
has
women
to
carry
be
blame, 100%.
like
Right? I'm not excusing. I don't excuse women by any means for shit. I mean, again, I'm being accused of being too hard on single moms. When in reality, I'm a way harder on dudes because I'm like, and again, I look at it from my perspective. That's the only perspective I can view. I can try to understand and empathize with somebody else, but I see through my eyes. Right? I'm like,
yeah.
you don't have to knock anybody up you don't want to knock up. That's the fucking reality of it.
You know what I
Right?
think we do? I think we generalize single mothers too much. You know what
Way
I
too
mean?
much. Right?
Like it, because there are so many different situations. Like
I distinguish a single mother from a. So here's my distinctions: a widow, an ex-wife,
right.
even an ex-fiance. You are not single mothers to me. You were on the path. Some shit went wrong. You are somebody who is in a situation where you are no longer with your mate, the person you planned on being with for eternity, for whatever reason, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the chicks who have had kids by dudes that had no intentions of being with them, right? That's to
And
me is,
and them too though. They didn't intend on they had no intentions on being a mother or a wife either.
and that's
Like
that's what I'm saying. Like they had no intentions on anything
yeah.
long term,
Yeah.
right? That to me it was just. And then when you mix the shit, that gets even worse. Like you were a wife, shit didn't work out, and then you met two random cats and they knocked you up. Like you had the dream, right? And I understand sometimes people want to you go through whatever pain you go through because I think for most women when they go through a divorce or some shit where you had a long term relationship and it fails, you don't do shit for a long time. Or old school chicks, I don't know about these new motherfuckers. Right?
Yeah, these new ones do. The old school,
Old school would
yeah.
they might go some months, if not a year or more, without an interaction with the man while they're dealing with the
Go to church. They go to church.
right. I understand, and sometimes they wild the hell out. But and I think for me, bro, that's one of the things I'm never like. I couldn't fuck with a chick who has a male best friend or male good friend for that matter,
Man,
because I know how we are.
why do women even why do they entertain that though?
Because
I don't
well, I
understand.
think listen, every woman I have ever met with a male best friend, he tried to smash. She said no. He still want to hit.
You know what? They be liking that attention and
But
that
bro,
act.
it's a date without sex. Like you get all the free shit without the physical intimacy,
But
right?
eventually it's coming though. I think it's coming eventually. One way.
I think he's. But think about the kind of dude you got to be to try to get sympathy sex, because that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, you're right. You do get yeah. That's your
You listen to her complain about every dude she's smashing or that she went out with and this didn't work, and you just sit there wanting like I can't
man.
imagine that, bro. That's
Bro,
I'm not cut out for that.
that is so. But it's so common though. Like even you know what? Even what you just explained is what helped me even get over situations where in which case I'm dealing with a woman that I probably neglected and really didn't have the proper interest in. I mean, just past situations where eventually they might let somebody else that one of them niggas smash, and it's like this is a nigga that's been sitting. That was just sympathy pussy. You know what I'm saying?
She's not gonna fuck with you after that,
Right,
Like
and
you
it's
gotta
like-
know that, but you're gonna be in love,
and
bro.
right. That's why I'm like, I'm glad I'm not that nigga. I'd rather be on the other end.
Prime example. We was out one night and ran into the chick we know, and she for the streets, right? Just keep it real. She for the streets, and she's with this young cat, and he's super into her, right? Like super into her. I'm like, bro. First off, for whatever reason, this chick will do whatever I say. I'm like, if you won't, I'll connect y'all tonight. If I tell her to do it, she gonna do it. I don't know fucking why. She just listened to me. Dude said, man, I can't. I'm like, I respect that. But I'm nosy because you doing everything you're supposed to do from a boyfriend perspective, but you just a friend. He said, man, if I do that, I'm going to fall in love. I said, yeah, you probably shouldn't do it, bro. But he's been around so long that he's in love with the concept of her being his woman. I give him 2 points for knowing that if he did it, it was going to go south. So I'm like, bro, why are you even here? Like, you don't want the prize. because you know you're gonna fall head over heels, and you know she's not good for
But
it.
you know why he there though. He's one of those people that's the only option that he has. He doesn't have that thing that attracts,
He lacked confidence, bro, because he
right.
wasn't. And all keep.
That's it.
I'm an old man. I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. He wasn't a ugly, unattractive dude, right? He's a decent looking cat. He wasn't short. He was a tall cat. He had military experience. He had shit going for him. He was fit. Like I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
But
Like
you and I both know that confidence is everything when it comes
100%,
to women.
100%. And I think too many men don't understand that.
And it's
Right?
talking about real confidence, not
No, yeah,
like,
not that bullshit.
not the superficial. I got money.
You
I got
have to
this.
be comfortable in yourself.
Yeah, and because women know the difference.
Women can see a confident man from a mile away. They can see a man with no confidence from 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's one of the things I be trying to explain to my homie. I'm like, bro, y'all get mad because these women are picking these dudes. I said, there's too many dudes with no confidence. Their lack of confidence came because they were shooting for the wrong chicks their entire life and constantly getting let down. You in a chick inbox or in their DMs trying, like, that's not how you start a relationship, bro. You might be able to start a smash session, but most of the cats that's like that ain't starting a smash session.
No.
Right? They're trying to love on chicks. Bro, listen, I don't know. Everybody's got I won't say everybody because everybody different. We all got a chick on our Facebook. Most of us got a chick on our Facebook that show way too much, and it's 1,000 dudes under there hearting it, comment, you so cute, you so sexy. Like, bro, what are y'all doing? Right? Y'all feeding this ego she got, and you know you getting nowhere. Right? But you looking like, I don't know, to me, them dudes just look weird to me, bro.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
And it's always the same dudes, bro. I've seen, and I gotta get this motherfucker off my Facebook, but I seen this chick post some shit like, where the eaters at? Bro, it's 10 dudes under the like, first off, she wild, bro.
That's crazy. That's like
That's how you trying to get in?
that's crazy. But no, but you know what? It's just more visible now, but that's actually been going on for a long time. It's always that them niggas that take a whore and try to turn her into something, that she's not built for. Because I believe that I believe in concubines. I believe that there are women that walk this earth that are only that's where their value is at.
They're not good for Maine.
They not. Yeah, that's just it.
They don't want to be, bro.
They don't
want to be
wanna be.
secondary.
Right. I mean, that's what they hear. I believe that's what they're here for. I truly believe in concubines. I don't think that this. I don't.
I want to disagree, but I can't, bro.
Huh?
I want to disagree, but I can't.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't think, because I'm saying, like, I've met those who move like that, and they come from good families. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Some people just cut different ways.
that's just what it's all about, how your mind responds to your environment and its surroundings. And I also believe that some women are emotionally inept. So they can't do nothing else but that, because that's where the value of a relationship with a woman, between a woman and a man, is, as far as the woman's concerned. It's her ability to be a nurturer. You know what I'm saying? Be emotionally intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
women don't lead men. They don't teach men. They show men. They show you a side of them that it allows you to be safe and vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? It's reminiscent. It's reminiscent of your mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right, 100%. You
And
replace your mom with your wife, bro. That's reality.
And the same thing with men, with who you pick as a man and their father. Like, he's going to take the place of being your protector and your provider, and he's going to lead you. He's supposed to guide you. He's, you know what I mean. He's supposed to help maintain and sustain your integrity as a woman, and as a woman, hopefully, ideally, a virtuous woman. But if you got so many different experiences with lame niggas, then why should this man have to overcompensate for that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think if we were more honest with ourselves when we meet each other, then just and communicate like adults about it, we'll be better off. Because sometimes you meet people and it's like, if y'all was honest about what y'all's histories are, you would know off the top, like, what this is or what it can't be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and I think it would save us a lot of fucking trouble, and it would help us. It would help cure us generationally. Now, is that going to happen? Probably not. But I'm
Hell
just
no.
saying that's what we need to happen.
Because there's always going to be them cleanup motherfuckers, bro. There's always going to be the dudes who are like, yeah, I know she did this, and this, but I'm it's okay. Like,
There is no but. Where's the but coming from?
because listen, bro. There are some beautiful women out here that have done some stupid shit with their decisions. Right, 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, but dudes like, man, I need a woman look like that, and she like, man, I need somebody to save me.
But that don't make it so. Let me ask you hypothetically: does that not make her less attractive to you? Even like if you see a
It's
mother.
not about me, right? Like this is where I think
Yeah, I'm just saying
sometimes we don't.
as a man though. I'm just saying as a man,
Yeah,
like
100%. Like
like
you're to me, your attractiveness. There's got to be physical attractiveness, but the way you carry yourself and your decisions. Because and maybe I'm different, but I need to be able to depend on my woman to help me make better decisions. Right? If you've made nothing but bad major decisions in your life, I can't trust you because I don't know. Right? Like, but a
right,
lot of cats are like, man, I don't want a chick that I want a chick that has no education, no money, blah blah blah. Like, I don't need you to need me. I need you to want me. Right?
right,
If I am how you survive, and this is how I felt when I was doing dumb shit in the streets. If the cats around me need me to eat, I can't trust you
right,
because
right.
the reason you're around me, I got a question.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
If I'm your way of survival, don't get me wrong. I want to improve your life. I want to make sure that I take whatever lifestyle you have and I make it. I do my part to make it better.
yeah. But that's
But
just
if
because
your only
you're
way of
competitive.
surviving is me, I can't. It's some shit wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just seen that from Isha. We just on some bullshit. We just on some bullshit talking. Like my initial point was somebody told me I was too hard on single mothers, and I'm like, I'm probably way harder on dudes, but I just don't be I don't be in the same space with it. I'm usually harder on dudes in the group chat and the text messages, shit like that.
Yeah,
Probably
I don't think we hard enough on women. That's on them.
and we're in different spaces on that one, right? Again, and that's okay. I do think we need to be more smart in the decisions we make with women, right? We need to be more intelligent with what we do, but we also have to be more realistic,
yeah,
and that's one of the things I think people are missing, right?
yeah.
A lot
You
of men
said,
are
something
tripping on
earlier
this.
though.
What's up?
You said something earlier, like when you talking about when you said that you need a woman that is going to help you make the best decisions, and I do, and for me, I think that that what she does with her temple is an example of the type of decisions that she's going to make.
Right, right. You
That's
had to make a bunch of good decisions before I can put my trust. You see, again, I'm in a different space. When I look at my woman, I'm like, I need a woman I can trust. Number one, I want to lay down with you without no protection. Right? If I can't trust you with my health and wellness, the rest of the shit don't matter. I
right.
also need to be able to trust you with my finances, investments, and business and shit. Like, I
Yeah,
can't if I can't do that, then we can't work. And if I look at you and I say, man, you made a lot of stupid ass decisions. We do dumb shit in our youth. But if you're making dumb ass decisions at 25, 26, 30, 32, or you carry yourself in a manner that I just don't feel that ain't for me. I don't care what you do with your life. I care what you do with your life if you involve with me,
yeah, yeah,
right? I need a woman that is going to who is comfortable enough to say to me, that's not a smart decision for you to make. Right? If I say some dumb shit, if I told my girl right now, listen, my woman is very traditional, feminine, submissive. If I went downstairs and say, hey, man, I'm finna quit all I'm doing and start being a rapper, she gonna tell me I'm stupid for some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody that's gonna look at me and say, that's a bad idea. Right? That's not what's best for you. Even when it might be lucrative. Right? I go back
yeah,
to when I was in the streets and my girl said, man, you gotta quit that shit. This is not best for us as a family, regardless of what's coming in. Right? The long term, she was seeing further down the road about my life than I was.
yeah. That's just that, but that's a reflection of what she's seen in you. She basically was speaking to the king in you.
A hundred percent,
Is
bro.
she gonna speak to the king in you or the fool in you? You know what I'm saying?
100%. She saw more value in me than I saw in myself. Right? And I needed that to be able to pull. I knew what I was capable of, but I didn't necessarily even believe that. But again, we a little older, right? There's some different options back in the day. I didn't have the internet. I couldn't get on the internet and see other ways to make money. Right? I
Yeah,
didn't see these opportunities that you had to have money. It took money to make money back in the day.
yeah,
Right? That was the hey, scared money don't make no money. That's the term we used to use, right? You
yeah,
had to spend money to get money.
yeah,
It's a little different now,
yeah.
right?
100.
You can wake up, and this is where I get mad at Marv. I'm like, bro, you don't have to have shit. So I had a conversation with my boy, right? And when we were talking, he's like, man, we don't, because I told him, I said, bro, you've been in this industry for 15 years. You telling me that this particular company is paying I forgot, it's like almost $1,000 a day to do this thing, right? You know fully how to do this thing. Why are you not running this as a business, right? And what you don't know, you hire somebody who do know, right? But you know the majority of the business. Oh man, this is the problem. Black folks don't stick together. I can't find nobody down. I'm like, bro, stop making the excuses. You can do this shit by yourself. You don't need nobody else. But he was fearful of taking that jump. I'm like, we get this mentality that my job is safe. Bro, you a number on a fucking spreadsheet. When that number don't add up, they cut you. Your check is not guaranteed, right? The only thing guaranteed is that you woke up that morning. And if you didn't, well, that damage, you don't know it. But I feel like too many men today are not confident enough to trust themselves to lead. Mm-hmm. And women see that shit, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? And so when they talk about women, it's this, I hear dudes all the time, well, the top 20% of dudes get all the women, and be in the fucking top 20%, bro. Stop bitching about the shit you ain't, like, that's a number you can achieve. Right? And I don't think it's the top 20% that chicks are after. Chicks are, bro, I've seen dudes with no money get a bunch of chicks because they're confident in themselves.
Right.
Right? It's fucked up as it is when I see dudes complaining about these chicks chasing these motherfuckers in prison. I'm like, them dudes is portraying confidence, bro. That's what's attracting women, not the jail cell. Y'all motherfuckers out here crying because you had to go to work and you can't get a girl. There's nothing confident about that.
Damn, he said some shit with that one.
Let's just keep it real, bro. These motherfucking dudes are weak.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, how dudes paying dudes to go to man boot camp. Bro, if you got to go to man boot camp, you may as well just...
That's crazy.
Bro, just
get
a girl that's out there and accept whatever the fuck come with it. Because you're never going to get one that's... And that's... Right, again, we get mad at women for not choosing a man who might be a better provider, might be able to do more. And I'm like, but she don't like to do because she can see right through him. If your girl don't feel like you can keep her safe, there's nothing you can, like, you're never going to get through to her, bro. Like, you're missing the main piece.
Yeah, because I mean, if you don't have a certain level of confidence, then she can't trust you, and she's not going to respect you. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna give you a prime example, and I'm guilty of probably fucking people shit up. But we were in Louisville, Kentucky this past weekend, right? And this couple, they probably never been. They looked a little uppity, and it was some homeless cat, and this homeless cat come up to this dude, right? And I see the situation because I'm walking. We had some. Whenever I get food to go and I'm around homeless people, I always just take my time. I'm gonna give it to somebody, right? I already ate. You know what I'm saying? I got some shit. You can benefit from this more than I will. Mm-hmm. So we walk in and we see this couple in front of us, and they a little uppity, right? Dude walks up, homeless cat walk up, start talking to the couple. Bro, the chick walked clean off on her husband, right? Clean, and I'm not talking like she was 3 steps ahead, bro. She was way ahead, like to the point where my girl was like, man, she don't feel comfortable with him, right? Yeah. Like she dipped on dude. She was about a half a block in front of me, cut into a store, right? So I'm like, I'm just gonna walk up and interrupt because I got this food for dude. So I interrupt. I said, excuse me for interrupting, right? I said, hey, bro, I ordered some food. You know what I'm saying? I got something left. Here you go. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. And I walk off. Me and my girl walk off. Bro, we walk past the lady. She smiled. She was like, thank you. And I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. I ain't trying to stop him from talking. But I realized, like, she ain't got no faith in this dude. She felt unsafe to the point. Now, don't get me wrong. If a situation comes about, my girl know, listen, if I'm in some shit, you need to move on. Like, if it's going to get dangerous, there's no point in you being here. But, bro, she dipped on dude out the gate. Yeah. And my girl was like, she don't trust him.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm like, he can't ever, like that was weird to me, bro. And I, like I said, when I say I'm guilty of messing people shit up, I'm the type of dude, if I'm walking, and I've had I'm going to say a 99% support rate right on this one, and I see a dude on the inside, chick on the street side, I'm like, bro, you should probably switch spots. You should be on the outside. And every time the chick is like, man, I swear I'm not supposed to be on the street side. And I look at him like,
you be saying, yeah. I'm
going to speak up, bro. I'm going to speak up.
Why?
I speak up because listen, somebody got to tell you didn't learn, obviously.
Right? Okay, so let's hypothetically, let's break that down hypothetically. Like, what is me being on the other side going to do?
Absolutely nothing but make her feel safe. Right?
Okay. All right.
If a car's coming up here, he got us both. Now, I mean, I could probably push her out the way. And again, my situation is say less. I'm gonna protect her, right? So my kids got a mama at least, right? But to me, that's the danger side.
No, you said it. You said make her feel safe.
That's it.
That
That's it's
that
about
does
making her
matter.
feel safe
That does
because
matter.
she
Or
has to feel comfortable. If your woman doesn't feel like you have her best interest at heart, she's not going to have yours.
right, right. So
Right?
just
You are a placeholder if you're not doing your shit.
so you're saying that your job as a man is to help your woman believe that you prioritize her safety
But
over
it's not
yours.
just believe. I do. Right? Like it needs to be real. Right? Now, again, the situation. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. Right? Me standing on the outside because I have a penis does not make anybody safer. But I'm more aware of my surroundings. So if some shit happened, right? And this is just the reality. If I see a car coming, I'm gonna move her out the way. Right? That's my
Yeah,
natural
yeah,
response.
yeah.
In
No,
hindsight, I might hate that shit later.
no.
But I
I'm
mean,
saying
that's my natural male response.
hopefully it is real, right? But what I'm
It's
saying is
100% real.
she just has to believe it because I'm saying it could be a situation where a man would lay down his life for a woman, but if she don't believe that,
It don't matter.
then it don't
Right?
matter.
It
You
don't
know what
matter.
I'm saying?
Right?
So
And like that, when I see that, bro, like it's different things. Again, I do different shit. So it's minor shit to me. It's just natural, right? Even at the crib, bro, we lock out the house. I open my girl door. She'll stand by the car door. Right? That's what I do. My neighbors have seen that shit, and I've seen motherfuckers look at they too, like, ah, you piece of shit. Right? That little bit of shit makes a difference to a woman. Right? But for me, my job is to educate other men. You don't have to be younger than me for that shit. And I think I've had one time woman's like, I don't need that. I'm an independent. Okay, cool. You stay on that side of the street, and goddamn it, you get hit, you get hit.
yeah.
Right? But it's rare. Probably one time out of all the times I've ever said some shit. But I don't have a beef saying nothing. Right? Like, dude, you supposed to be on the street side. Right? It's even weird when you outside, you see a bunch of people and only one dude is doing like it's just that shit stands out to me. If it stands out to me, it stands out to her, bro. Right? And I think it's the little shit like that that makes a difference. That when I was having a discussion with my homies, like, oh man, that's not enough for her not to fuck with you, blah blah blah. I said, bro, it's a part of the bigger picture. She doesn't see you valuing her, right, enough to protect her, which means your eyes are gonna be open for somebody who will. Right? Like it's bro, I don't know. It's different. I remember being out one time with a bunch of my homies. It was a bunch of us, dudes and girls, right? And some shit kind of jumped off, nothing too crazy. But all the girls came and stood behind me. And I thought to myself, that's kind of fucked up that they don't feel safe around y'all. Cause I wasn't the biggest dude out there, right? But the girls stood behind me. and I'm just like, that's kind of crazy to me. My wife was with me, right? It was us and our friends, her friends and shit. She's directly behind me. You're gonna be protected. But the other girls kind of came behind. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up that they felt like I was the one that they were safest with. I'm like, that means the chicks y'all with ain't really fucking with y'all like that. They don't have that confidence in you.
Right.
And it's not a size thing. It's not an ability thing. It's purely a feeling thing.
Nah, yeah, I get it. I get it 100%.
If she don't feel like, and I think a lot of dudes lack that confidence, that masculinity today, especially, and it's probably because it was raised without it.
Again, another reason why I'm saying this should be easy for women to use discernment. You know what I mean? Because it is something that it's a clear. You can't fake confidence. You know what I'm saying? You really you can't fake it. So that, and I think that should be just one criteria. I think it all comes down to confidence, and discipline, and perseverance. You know what I mean? Like if you have those qualities as a man, like you can pretty much get any woman you want, really. Like long
You just
as
got to
she's
get in front of her.
available.
You got to get her ear, right?
Yeah, that's it. You got to get and I mean, obviously, then you just compete because that's really what it comes down to. But if it's always the men who know who they are that ain't really got to try that hard.
No, bro, it's women that can see, like I said, they can see confidence from a mile away. There are women who approach men because they like, damn, he's the confident one, right? Bro, I got a homie, bro, and he lost weight, but bro was 3-something. Big dude, right? Kept chicks always was on him. Bro was probably one of the most confident cats I know. His size don't matter, right? Because that didn't slow him down at all.
Right.
Right? Didn't slow him down one bit.
Yeah.
A lot of I think a lot of us struggle with that confidence, and unfortunately, the most confident people in our community are the street cats. You got to be confident to be in that game, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to not give a fuck. You got to feel like you better than whatever else is out there. And
Yeah.
women see that, and dudes are like, "Well, I don't know why they always go after these type dudes because the rest of y'all look soft. Like you don't stand out." And I had this conversation with my homie. She's like, "Well, man, dudes can go over to white chicks and get a woman in no." I said, "Because you look tough compared to the people that used to see it. The stereotype win for you,
Yeah.
right? That's just the reality." I'm like, bro, you take the most average black dude and you put him in a group of white dudes, and this is no knock on anybody. People are going to assume he's tough, right? Or one of the tougher people in the group,
Yeah.
one of the more masculine people in the group. The stereotype's going to win, right? So I'm like, a lot of dudes go over and fuck with chicks of different cultures, and they can win with a chick because they stand out. They appear that way, but it don't take her long to figure it out. He ain't him,
Yeah.
right? But that doesn't justify dumbass decisions. You can have a whole lot of sex with somebody and not have a baby, right? And I think that's where we have to learn to. But again, I give everybody that one baby pass. I know you don't agree with me. I give everybody that one baby pass, one baby daddy, one baby mama, whatever. But when you hit two, it's a different conversation. You hit 3, 4, now you in a different space, and it's weird because we have a friend, bro, who she got 4x4, and I'm like that's fucking crazy. That's crazy, bro. I just refer to it as a Bronco. That's when I say a motherfucking Bronco, she got 4x4, right? Or he got 4x4. Like that's Bronco to me. That's a big truck.
You stupid.
No, I'm just keeping it real, bro. Like that's like I need somebody to explain that one. That one, like when you hit that number, I'm no longer necessarily. Well, I'm okay. Let me take a step back. Baby daddy number 4, I got more questions for you than anybody. I got way more questions for you. Unless she didn't have custody of the first 3. That's the only way. But I need an explanation because I'm not. If you got 4 baby daddies, I'm not blaming. I got no. I want to question them dudes, but I'm like, this is not something you were unaware of. You know what I'm saying? You made you can't, especially. I mean, you got to damn near. They got to be deadbeats to have 4.
Yeah.
They got to be. You can't. You might even create a deadbeat out of the first one by having 3 more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you might create a deadbeat.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You're like, but I don't know, bro. I don't personally feel like I'm too hard on single mothers. I feel like I'm way harder on dudes. It's in a different space,
Yeah.
right? I communicate and I have these conversations about the decisions because at the end of the day, single mothers typically are single mothers not by choice. They didn't want custody of the kid necessarily. They had no choice, right? Me and my guy was having a conversation, and I know we getting close to this 10:30, but me and my guy was having a conversation, and he was talking about how kids fare better under single fathers, and I agree wholeheartedly. I said, but how many single fathers are single fathers by choice, and how many are single fathers by force? Right? Very few cats. I know 2 cats that they're both white dudes, which is interesting. That they baby mamas just got up one day and dipped. They were, as a matter of fact, they were wives. I mean, it's not baby mamas. They were wives, and they had babies. And these are 2 damn similar stories. The chicks got up and just bailed.
Yeah. I know enough men to believe that a strong portion of the single fathers are by choice, and some both, some by choice and by force, right? Like it's the mother chose to leave, but because of the father being a stand up guy, what I mean, like he honored the opportunity, he met it as an opportunity to demonstrate, what he was built to demonstrate. I would like
He gave a shit about his kids, bro.
Yeah.
He needed put himself on the back burner like we supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think most, I'm not going to say they didn't know it was coming, right? I'm going to say they didn't know it was coming, but I think most women that are single mothers did not intend to be solely responsible from a deadbeat perspective.
How could you not intend to be when every decision that you made with this relationship was along those lines? You know what I mean? Like,
bro, I think it's hopeful. Again, I'm from a different space. I believe that if you can hate somebody, but if you have a kid with them, your responsibility is still your responsibility. That's
man,
That's just where
Okay.
I'm at, bro. So when I have this discussion with my guy, and he'd be like, "Well, man, she should have knew better. She should." I said, "But who's responsible for his responsibilities? Let's take the kid off the table. Who's responsible for that man's rent or mortgage? Who's responsible for his car payment, his insurance? He's responsible for that. Just because he don't want to do it, don't mean he ain't responsible for it. So, but again, bro, I don't know. I'm way harder on the man. Um, and maybe it's just because of the way I was raised, bro. I seen cats who can. I know what a masculine man is capable of, and a confident man is
Yeah.
capable of in an environment where there's not many of that same thing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying, like, when we look at, us socially, like, okay, for example, a man could say, I just know I'm not gonna be a good father, so I'm out of here, right? And he's gonna be a villain. A woman can wake up and say, you know what, I don't want my kid no more. I'm gonna take this kid to and drop him off at the or her off at the
And she
fire
a
station.
hero.
And they gonna give her, like, you had been so courageous to do something like that. And it's just like it blows me because why, hold up. If a man is a coward and he ain't shit for, stepping away or abandoning his child, which I would agree, then how is it different for a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, I mean, because
Bro,
I don't think we
I
go
mean,
hard enough.
I can't disagree, right? I can't argue with that one because, like, when I see a chick that don't have custody of their kids, I'm like, you had to be fucked up. Now, I'm sure I'm wrong. There's some
Yeah,
chicks who like he's a better father than I'm gonna be
no,
mom, right? And that's a good decision for the kid. But mentally, I'm like,
yeah.
if you don't have custody of your kids as a woman, you fucked up.
This is what I think. If obviously, ideally, a man and woman should, build their family, keep their family together. If you do not, though, I think it all has to comes down to where they are at in their lives. At some point, the mother is the better parent, all things considered, and at some point, the father is the
Right.
better
There
parent.
should be a transition. Teenage
Yeah, it
years,
has
especially if
to
it's a
be.
boy. Right.
Yeah,
When you get to them
especially if it's
teenage
a
years,
boy.
pops need to do his shit. Right?
Yeah,
Because that boy needs masculine guidance,
yeah,
discipline.
I think a general rule of thumb would be that initially it's mom and it with either gender, and then eventually, as dad, and that's just because, nurturing is required early in life, and then there's a part that you have it is preparation, and I think the transition happens sooner with a boy, you know what I
Right,
mean? But
right.
even if my daughter is 15, 16 years old, it's time for her to come with me because there's some things that she needs to understand about life
I'm
that
going to teach you about
only
what
I
men are
can give
going
her.
to say to you and try to convince you because the bro, I think for a lot of young men, teenage boys, taking somebody's virginity is it's like a
It's a badge of
dream.
honor. It's a badge of honor.
Right. It's a dream for a lot of cats because that means I'm first. I get to, and if I do right, we all good, right? But I don't think most dudes do it with the intention to do right either. Right? Let me
No,
keep it real.
it's competitive. That's what I'm saying.
It's right. I
They
had that. You did.
they had, but here's the thing: if they got at a certain point in their life, they will value it. That's why I'm saying it's important that for a
Right.
woman to understand that and say, hey, right now he could be a good dude, but it's timing. If you give it to him now, he ain't gonna be shit.
Right.
If you wait and let him come into who he is, he's gonna value
And
just
if he
even
don't
that.
stay with you through that process, then be happy.
Be happy because he's supposed to be busy and focused anyway.
Yeah.
Any man that leads with his loins is a liability to himself and everybody
Hundred
around him.
percent. 100%. 100%, bro. No doubt, man. I think it's hard, right? Because I think as we get older and when we get to certain points, they start, and it's probably gonna sound fucked up. A lot of women start running out of other things to offer, right? And I've seen this with older women who are decent women, but you in this pool, you compete, right? Like to take somebody who was in a 15, 20 year relationship and drop them out today, it's it's gonna be a fucking shell shock, right? Because the women you are competing with are showing everything to get attention, right? I was having this conversation with somebody in a Facebook group. I'm like, a woman said something like, "We don't have to dress to so y'all can to make y'all look like y'all want to fuck us or some shit."
Hmm.
I'm like, you don't realize that the more dressed you are, the more appealing you are to decent men,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
If I can see everything, like there's nothing to the. We used to like use imagination, bro. Like that was a good thing. right? Now it's like, man, I want to imagine what she looked like dressed. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
I think we are different in that space. I don't know, bro. It's just wild, man. To see people not understand what again. If you out showing everything, I'm not looking for anything past the physical. As a man,
Right.
that's reality.
I
If you
agree.
take your, I was having this conversation with one of my guys, bro. Super stand up dude, probably one of the most, probably the most stand up guy I've ever met. Right? Let's just dude is just he's just by the book, right? And he was telling me, he's like, man, you know, I as a married man, he's like, as a married man, bro, and he used to work in the bar areas, right, doing some legit shit. He didn't drink or nothing like that, but he worked in that space. He was like, I would compliment ladies who were dressed appropriately in a club full of women who weren't. He said because they knew that you coming out with extra hard competition, and you still carrying yourself in a good manner. And I told him, I said, bro, that's crazy you said, because I've complimented people too. Like, hey, you know what? I just between me and you, I appreciate you, you know, carrying yourself in that manner. I ain't gonna say the closer. I'm just in general conversation.
Yeah.
Right? I appreciate you carrying yourself in that manner because I know you out here and it's different. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know, bro. It's a different space, bro. It's a different game. Somebody coming out of a relationship, a long-term relationship right now is in for a world of shit.
I agree.
Because the game has changed. You can still find decent people, but if you think you going out to find them folks, it's not happening.
I agree.
Hey, I know we bumped up against this 10:30, bro. I appreciate you, man. Stay with me because I want to touch on something, but yeah, just definitely, bro, man. Let's continue to do this and shit. I'm gonna try to get these Sundays back, but just been busy as hell with work, man, and these projects and shit.
No, 100. Me too. Shit.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all watching.
100.